I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 124 of the SZN podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, before we kick off the episode, please head over to SZN Podcast, which is our Instagram page, or SZN Pod, which is our Twitter page. Link in the bio on both of those platforms. There, I will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise, whether it's audio you like or visuals. All the mainstreaming giants will know everything, really. So, yeah, the YouTube seems to be doing well. So make sure you guys head over to the YouTube to run out the visuals as well, because it seems to be very popular. But, yeah, Flowz, here we are, another week. How are you, first of all?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. What you saying?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Yeah, back into the swing of things, I say. So yeah, New Year and that, yeah. Bro, we got the Gervonta Davis card to talk about. And to be honest, Flowz, it's a pretty stacked card in the sense that there's quite a lot of fighters that we've talked about before and we like, etc., that are on this card. So yeah, let's do a big deep dive onto this card. Let's start from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom, work away. Because, bro, I'm there. Let me set the scene, listeners. Yeah, because I'm there chilling, going about my evening, my Saturday evening, blah blah. I don't even know what I'm watching. I'm watching something, and I get the message from yourself, Flowz, saying, "Oh, Lamont Peterson's on this card." The way I said, "Use Flowz," you can corroborate my reaction as well. I was like, "Huh?" Because I last saw Lamont Peterson, 2018, when he lost to Errol Spence. Well, let's say lost. He got banged up. He got banged up by Errol Spence. And I remember vividly after that fight, because obviously it was in DC. He's from DC. He was like, after the fight, post-fight, he was there saying, "Oh, yeah, DC, I think this is it for your boy. I'm going to hang up the gloves, blah, blah." And I was like, well done, Lamont. Good decision. Great career. And you've been battered this fight. Let's it's good to call it a day. The following year, I'm then seeing he's come back out of retirement and he's then got knocked out by Sergey Lipinets.
Yeah.
That was in 2019. Lipinets doesn't really knock people out, by the way. But yeah, that happened. So, cool. That's happened. Boom, boom, boom. And then, yeah. So when you're telling me that he's unretired and he's back fighting, I don't even know who he fought, but I heard about this guy with 16-16. So the 16 wins, 16 losses. I'm thinking, my goodness me. But yeah, Lamont Peterson was somehow on this card. Again, this fight's in DC, so I know he's like a DC legend. And unfortunately, it's not what we want to see, but he's then got stopped by a guy who's got a record of 16-16. So is that actually true? Was the guy 16-16?
I think so. Wow.
Bro. That's not what we want to hear, man. That's not what we want to hear at all.
For me, it was so funny because I don't know. I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I know the prelims are on. I've seen the prelims are on. So I don't think they were streaming yet. They streamed something on YouTube. I don't think they were streaming yet. So I was waiting for the stream. So I was scrolling through Twitter. Yeah. I see a clip of Lamont, and it's a very sketchy bit of Lamont Peterson going night. I said, all right, Lamont Peterson retires after 4 years, has been stopped tonight. I was like, what? I was like, what the hell's Lamont Peterson doing on this card?
Yeah.
I get stopped because I thought he was retired. So I quickly messaged you. I was like, yo.
Bro, I had no idea Lamont had come out of retirement. He needs to go back into He needs to forward back into retirement. I'm going to be so real. Because that stoppage looked bad. And again, you can't be losing to guys for a record of 16-16. That's Flowz. That's bad, man. That's it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that's him fully retired, confirmed. Yeah, that's confirmed. That's done.
Nah, you've got to end it there. I mean, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, it's gone. It's gone, Lamont. Don't put yourself for any more punishment. That's like 3 stoppages on the bounce, by the way. Like 3 stoppages on the bounce. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. You've had a good career, call it a day. So yeah, that was my first surprise in the prelims to see Lamont there. Brandon Lee was on the prelims for us. Obviously, he's a guy we put in our prospects of a year. I didn't actually know he was going to be in the prelims for this one. As long as the PBC had heard everyone saying you guys aren't active, so they tried to shove as many people in this card as they can. But Brandon Lee stopped his opponent, I think, in 4 or 5 rounds. I think it was a bit of a mismatch. A bit of a mismatch, but he battered this guy, so he moves on. So yeah, that was that. Okay, let's start the actual main undercard now. So away from the prelims, main undercard, and I believe I think Boo Boo was first up. Actually, it was Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Boo Boo against Nicholson, I think his name was. Yeah, Flowz. It's another typical Boo Boo performance, to be honest, Flowz. He dominated his opponent from start to finish, to be honest. And like when I say dominated, he actually dominated. And Boo Boo is a fighter that you see dominate his opponents, but really struggle to get them out of there, despite maybe dropping them or whatever. And in this case, he was able. Usually, he drops his opponents early, and then for the rest of the fight, it's kind of scrappy, but he's able to show that he's better than them. But this time, I think he dropped this guy a bit late on. But one thing of note, Flowz, in this one was, did you see the knockdown that was ruled as a slip in Boo Boo's favor?
Yeah, that was
I think that was.
Boo Boo, did you think it was a knockdown?
Boo Boo was off balance. He was caught with a shot, to be honest, and he was, but I think he was backpedaling a little bit, so he was off balance. But by rules, stipulations, that is a knockdown because it has come from a shot. So yeah, I do think it should have been scored a knockdown. But yeah, he was. It wasn't like, I don't think the punch hurt him so much. He was off balance and he was sort of backpedaling. I think his feet kind of got caught a little bit as well, and then he got caught with a shot, and that's what sent him down. So yeah, it's just one of those ones that the referee didn't really see clearly. But that wouldn't have, even if that was scored a knockdown, that wouldn't have done anything to the final result. And Boo Boo went and squared it up anyway. Well, squared it up. He went and got his own knockdown later on towards I think it was like the 9th or so. But yeah, overall, in terms of just performance Flowz, it was standard Boo Boo performance. His opponent, I wouldn't say he looked amazing, but he looked good enough to know that okay, he's a high quality boxer in against someone that he was meant to beat. And yeah, the usual Boo Boo story came out afterwards, Flowz, in terms of he's calling out the Charlos. He says on site for the Charlos when he sees them. Flowz, I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
That sounded like deja vu to me, but yeah.
Well, I hope so. I hope he does get some fights. If he's back, let's see what we need to see.
Yeah.
Enough of
for
these.
You, who is it that you want to see? He's at 168 now. So is it the Charlos and Benavidez? Is that who you want to see him against?
Well, I don't know how he's called out Charlo when Mar was still at 160. No, Mar's still at 160.
Yeah.
I don't even know. We don't know what Mar's did.
Flowz, it seems to be some. Is it like, are we out the loop or what? Because like you say, we don't know what Mar's doing. Is he at once? Is he going to move to 168 or not? Because we actually don't know. Because all the prospective matchups for Mar are at 168.
At 175.
At 175. So what is he? Where is he? What's he doing? Everyone's talking about Mar, Benavidez, Plant, Chip Charlo, blah, 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 and now Bivol Charlo. But he's like the only one that hasn't come out and said, bro, I've moved up. I'm not 160. He's still holding on to 160 belt. So I don't even know what Mar, where's he at?
No idea, man. So when Boo Boo's saying these names, I think you mentioned Golovkin before the fight. You've left that weight class. Those were you potential unifications for you. You vacated your belt and you moved up.
Yeah.
So, and who has all the belts in that division? Canelo. Canelo has no interest in fighting you. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what you want. But yeah, if it's Charlo you want, then make it happen. But that's hard for me to sit and say that Charlo fight's even realistic because I don't know what Jamal's doing. Benavidez has his plans with Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I imagine we'll see Boo Boo in again with another unknown or
for his
obscure
next fight.
fighter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a bit boring now, but yeah, that's what Boo Boo's been doing his whole career. Not all his fault, but he has to, like you said last episode, he has to bear some of the brunt of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that was Boo Boo. Speedy Ellis flows. Speedy Ellis. I feel harsh because I remember last week you were like, oh yeah, what you said to me, what are your thoughts on Speedy Ellis? And I was like, bro, that guy's not even on my radar, blah, blah. Can see why. Now, let me not be harsh because this was an upset win for his opponent.
But before we get into it, we did say that, look, this guy was meant to be this and that.
He was.
He was talked up early in his career. He was talked up.
He was.
And we just haven't been seeing him do his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, get into it.
It's an upset win for his opponent, Romain Villa. And not only was it an upset win, but if you watch that fight, Flowz, harsh for Mr. Ellis in terms of the final result. I might even go out on a limb, Flowz, and say I actually thought he won that fight. But why I say it was harsh in the sense that obviously he was given the majority decision went against him. To be honest, Flowz, I'll probably say that Mr. Ellis dominated a good 8-9 rounds against this Villa guy. He showed superior boxing ability, great movement, footwork, speed, obviously hand speed, etc. Combination punching. Bro, he was piecing up Villa, to be honest, in the not early rounds, from the first to the 8th, 9th, all him. And it's a case of him, a boxer dominating his opponent, but his opponent sticking in there and toughing it out and staying in there and continuing to apply pressure, and eventually that pressure making the boxer wilt. And that's exactly what happened with Mr. Ellis here. He was the better fighter in the night for me, and he dominated Villa up until the point where he ran out of gas. And the pressure, which was constant from Villa kept coming forward, etc. Despite being hit by combinations and fast hands, remained undeterred, kept going. I think Ellis used a lot of lateral movement and just movement overall in earlier portions of the fight, the first half, and he moved a lot. And it was a case of maybe because he moved so much, he ran out of steam towards the end, which made Villa sort of come on strong towards the end. But regardless, it's a huge upset for Ellis, considering as well, I don't know if you caught the back and forth between Ellis and Ennis in the press. We'll get onto that. But yeah, man, hats off to Romain Villa because obviously he's a power puncher. I think he's won the majority of his fights by knockout, so he carries power. And I guess for him was a case of, boy, I don't mind if I'm getting pieced up here. I'm eventually gonna land. When I land, I'm gonna make it be telling. These shots be telling. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, from the 8th, 9th round where Ellis started to finally lose steam, Villa was able to then land some significant shots that hurt. From the jump, it was hurting Ellis. These shots that were landing. You could tell Ellis didn't like it at all, bro. At all. The demeanor changed. It was almost as if like every single big bomb that got landed, Flowz, like you knew it was going to trouble.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, man. He didn't like it. And he just faded. It was peak, man. And it made for it, to be fair, the last couple of rounds were super exciting because of the fact that Ellis was on his bike. So he was survival mode, bro, spoiling every single thing. Anytime it came close, wrap up, trying to buy time. And it was a case of, I was annoyed at Villa because you're thinking, bro, you're smothering your work here. Just take a step back and you can actually catch him. But yeah, I think we saw we're heading into that last round. He dropped him.
Twice in the last round.
Is it? Yeah, okay. The knockdowns finally came in the last round. No, didn't he drop him? No, he didn't drop him. He had him. There was in the round 11. He actually did drop him, but the referee ruled it slip.
Okay, yeah.
And it was actually a knockdown. It was so funny because the commentator was like, "Come on, man, that's clearly a knockdown." Blah blah. He dropped him in I think it was in the 10th or 11th. He actually did drop Ellis, but Ellis kind of
PBC judging.
Bro, you know when ones to kind of like sort of just like flops kind of thing to make it look like a slip or like he was tired kind of thing, because it was quite scrappy because Villa was smothering his own work, so it didn't look very clean, but it was a knockdown and it didn't get counted as a knockdown. So so in the 12th round now, Villa's finally got to Ellis after his corner was like, bro, you need to go for the knockdown, go for it this round, go for it. And he's dropped Ellis twice. And folks, if you notice how the count, how obviously because Villa wasn't going into the neutral corner, The referee kept stopping the count and giving Ellis bare time. But anyways, whatever, cool. Via's dropped Ellis twice in that final round, and I'm thinking, boy, and Ellis actually just survived by the skin of his teeth, bro. The last knockdown happened literally just as the bell went. So obviously he beat the count, and then the bell's gone afterwards. I'm there thinking, boy, Ellis has got a lot of work to do. Like he showed some good stuff earlier on, but he faded. I'm there thinking, okay, he will still get the decision. So I was quite surprised to see the decision actually went to Villa in the end. I actually thought Ellis still did enough despite the 2 knockdowns. But according to the judges, they felt that Villa nicked some of the early rounds, which I disagree with, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, huge upset for Ellis because he was talking a lot of stuff the day before in the presser. So, boy, peak.
Yeah, Ellis is because he's been dropped before. This ain't the first time he's been touched. He's touched that canvas. We've seen him touch the canvas before. But yeah, and before the talk he was doing in the presser, and to me it sounded like you didn't really want it with Boots. To be honest, from that back and forth, because the way Boots was smiling,
bro, Boots was rude. Boots was so rude with it, and Boots doesn't really talk too much at all.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Boots was like, "Come on, bro, come on, bro." He said that you're capping. Like, you don't want it with me. Trust me. Nah, Boots was saying, "Hey, Flowz," he was leaning back.
He's like, nah, because apparently they were meant to fight. And
yes.
Eddie said, "Oh yeah, you guys didn't pay me enough." So
yeah,
from then I knew, you didn't really want it. Yeah, you didn't really want it because Boots ain't a huge name. Why are you demanding big payment from Boots?
Yeah, very, very true.
But I guess it would have maybe if he won this. We said it last episode. It's a potential fight.
Yeah, apparently that was the roadmap. They were gonna try and put Ellis versus if Ellis won this and obviously Boots won his against his opponent. They were gonna try and push for that fight to be happening next. So big spanner in the works for Ellis. Just big spanner in the works for Ellis because overall, obviously they were talking about Boots to the presser, seeing how they see him as the future of the welterweight division, and Ellis was like, "Hang on, I'm here. It's me. I'm going to be the future." Blah blah. That's literally exactly what he did as well. Yeah, he was like, I'm going to be the one, not Boots. I've just never been sold by Speedy, bro. I've just never like I said when I said he was on my he just never really, even when he was hyped up and talked up, I just didn't see it. Obviously, he's got some the hand speed. He's a good boxer. Clearly,
I don't think me and you, we've been talking boxing for years. I don't think we've ever discussed it.
No, he's not on the look. He's not in the ranks. I don't think
we've ever discussed
He's not in the ranks. He's not in the ranks.
He's not
Again, I'm not knocking him. Flowz, he's a good boxer, and he's got great attributes and great tools. But there's just something that when you see it, you see it. And I've never really been sold by him in that regard, man. And even though I do think he won this fight, he showed serious chinks in the armor, and this Via guy, power puncher, was able to capture. As you said, he can fade. He's been caught before. He's been dropped before. That kind of stuff. Again, no shame in being dropped, etc. But yeah, just the way that he ran out of steam, this Via guy was able to get onto him and press him. Very worrisome, especially when you compare to the rest of the welterweights who are killers. Flowz, when they get their opponent hurt, killers. Imagine if that was Spence, Crawford, or Boots, for example, if they had him hurt, killers.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man, it's a tough loss for him, and he can bounce back, but I think that's going to obviously humble him a little bit and know that he's not in certain company when he thinks he is. Man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, hope he comes back, but yeah, he's still not in the mix.
Flowz, it's tough out here, man. It's not easy. It's not easy, man.
It's a tough division. This is a stacked division, so it's not easy to be in the mix, really.
That's what makes the division jarring because it's so stacked and they don't fight each other. But yeah, it's stacked. It's hella stacked. Hella stacked division. All right, man. Flowz, Boots time. Nice segue into Boots. Because our boy's getting killed, bro.
They're cooking him.
Boots is getting killed. After that Ellis upset, I'm there thinking, God, I beg Boots doesn't let me down tonight. Please don't let me down. Let's see the masterful Boots performance that we usually see. Just usual Boots. Bro, from round, he's against the Ukrainian guy, Chukhadzhian, I think his name is.
Kachav, I'm calling him.
Okay, yeah.
Is it Karen? Is it Karen Kachav? That's what I'm calling him.
I said Karen Kachav. I called it back ago, Oh, Flowz, bro. From round one, so obviously we've never seen this guy before.
Yeah.
But I kid you not, from the opening round, I thought, oh boy, this boy, yo, he's got good footwork, you know.
Yeah, he's moving.
I said, yo, he's moving well. Boy, he ain't food. It's so funny how you can spot a decent boxer just from the opening round immediately. Yeah. Close. I noticed the guy's footwork straight away. I said, wow, he's got educated feet.
But yeah, you can expect that from what's it called, Ukrainian.
You have to say Eastern European, especially these Ukrainians, they don't play. Yeah. The pedigree speaks for itself, right?
They all have footwork,
bro. Yeah, so all of them about footwork. All of them got that leg work. All of them got that leg work. Brother, I'm seeing the footwork straight away. I'm thinking, okay, homeboy got signed. Cool. Boots started off behind the jab. Cool. I could tell he was a bit. I think I could tell Boots was a bit antsy. Not antsy, but I think with Boots, he really wanted to impress with this fight. There's a lot of Philly man were in the building. All the rap, Nick Mill, Fulton was there, Gilly, Waller. A lot of Philly guys came to support him. They were there in the building, rooting for him heavy. Obviously, Boots, unfortunately, because he's so successful, I don't want to call himself a victim of his own success, but we expect Flowz. Every time Boots is fighting, we expect me, you, and the boxing fans. His name is steady building up. He's doing well for himself. People are, starting to recognize him. Casuals starting to go onto it. So with that kind of comes the commands that you have to put on the show every time you step out into the ring, especially against a guy that's unheard of and you're sort of expected to beat quite handily. So I think that plagued his mind. I'm gonna come out and say, bro, it wasn't the best Boots performance, to be honest. And I think a part of that was, one, I think he himself was trying too hard to impress, but also this opponent didn't let him look good at all, Flowz. Shout out to this Ukrainian guy. This is how boxing can be so weird sometimes, because you can literally find a random that is just good, or like completely like, as you say, unknown quantities, and they actually turn to be good boxers. Franklin, for example, or Ortiz, you know what I mean? Like, and this guy was actually a good boxer, bro. He was frustrating Boots in there. He was on the back foot for the majority of the fight. And to be honest, he didn't do enough to win at all. And the UD rightfully went to Boots because this guy wasn't offensive enough. But boy, was he frustrating Boots in there. As I said, great footwork. Very good at boxing on the back foot. Getting out of danger. Sneaky counterpuncher as well. Sneaky with the combinations. He caught Boots a few times. They weren't hurtful. I don't think his punches look like they hurt at all. Because as we saw towards the latter half of the fight Flowz, Boots just started to walk this guy down. He thought, you know what? Bun it. But Boots had to cut off the ring the entire fight because homeboy was on his back foot. Call it running. I'm not going to call it running. It was just educated footwork. Staying out of trouble. Not being in the pocket with Boots. And it got to the point where Boots, unfortunately, was so frustrated, bro. He was looking a bit amateur in there, bro. Swinging wildly. At the end of referee breaking, he's trying to throw the big punch straight away, looking like David Hay when he was against Bellew. So yeah, Boots was super frustrated in there because he wasn't able to catch this guy cleanly very well. And when he did catch him cleanly, the guy was really good at getting out of danger and blocking and slipping punches, so much so that he wouldn't get caught with further big shot combinations. He had a good chin, obviously. I think Boots did hurt him a few times, but overall, nothing enough for Boots to really, really press home and get him out there. So yeah, man, it's a rare Boots off night, if you want to call it that way. I think in part, this opponent didn't help. And you do get it sometimes, Flowz, when you get opponents that don't really help you and help your cause, and it's hard to look good against them. And this definitely wasn't an opponent for that. So a bit of a wake-up call for Boots, I think, because he will get opponents like this. And he's got to learn how to be patient, I think. I think today yesterday we saw that the patience wasn't quite there for what I like to see against this kind of opponent. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the performance and the fight?
Yeah, I think there's been a massive overreaction to that performance. Let's keep it a buck. Boots won every round.
Yeah,
Boots won every round.
Yeah.
And while in portions he was sloppy, he got caught. The guy was landing combinations and points, like flush combinations on Boots. You pointed out he was missing mildly with shots. Boots likes to switch between stances, and while I'm personally not the biggest fan of when people do that, he's someone who does it well. Crawford does it well. But at the same time, everyone in that division, all your favorite fighters, we've seen them get touched, get pieced up in portions, get rocked, wobbled, touch the canvas. Crawford, Spence, they've been in fights where they've been pieced up and touched.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's lost every round to Boots, lost every round. And because Boots didn't knock him out, or because Boots got hit more often than we've seen him, people are saying, yeah, Boots ain't ready. He's not ready for these, man. He's not ready for this. We got to look at the bigger picture. This is his first fight in how many months?
Yeah.
Like he fought once last year, we were saying last episode.
Yep.
And we see Boots' socials. He's in camp all the time.
If we're to believe what he says, it's either church or
sparring or
church running. Or the gym. That's it.
Yeah.
Church or the gym.
Great word on Sundays, he's tweeted. And
service was great today.
Service was great.
20 round sparring done. Can't wait.
Stay sharp in the gym. Just done this much running. So he's constantly in camp, whatever. It could be a case of being overtraining or whatnot, and then he gets in there, he's maybe over aroused or whatnot.
Yeah.
This ain't the type of opponent he really wants to be in. And like you say, this Chukhadzhian dude was on the back foot, moving, being slick in there almost.
He was.
And he wasn't directly engaging with Boots, so Boots had to go hunting. And while he was going hunting, he was being very sloppy. His hands were down. He was just trying to get this guy out of there.
Big shot.
And this guy showed a bit more than that. But if Boots didn't have all this expectation on him, all the judges every round gave it to him. I gave him every round as well.
He didn't lose a round. I think most of you argue he might have lost one round, but I think I gave him every round on my card.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a victim. He's a victim of his own expectation.
Hype, yeah, it's the victim of his own hype. And the reaction I was seeing is like, he's not ready for Virgin Ortiz. He's not ready for this. I'm like, what?
They can behave. They can behave immediately.
You know what? We always say boxing's reactionary. And even me, at a point, especially last year, I was saying, if you haven't fought in the last 6 months, your past work is erased. I'm going off your recent performance.
Yeah.
I've shouted that, so I can hold my hands up with that one. But Boots, we know what he can do, and you've got to take into account context and whatnot. This is a tune-up. This is him dusting off the cobwebs, and he won every round against a tricky looking guy. Never heard of him, but he looked tricky in there. Yeah, let's see what he does next time. And like you said in the last episode as well, that you'd like to see him take another step up before he goes into a title fight. Let's see what that looks like.
Furman.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
And for me, Flowz, I wasn't jumping and saying, he's not ready. I still think he's ready. And I say that because not Furman. Spence and Crawford ain't going to fight like that. I promise you that. In terms of the way the Korean guy came, they're not doing that. They're going to try and press the action or whatever, and they're going to try and dominate him. But, they're not going to be on the back foot throughout, looking to just not survive, but just be awkward and tricky and slick. They're going to, look to be on the offensive, etc. So that type of opponent is so hard to look good against. And we've seen it so many times where a fighter will struggle against an unknown or someone that people will think they're meant to beat, and this guy has turned out to be trickier than expected. So I still think he's ready for those guys. But obviously, I still want him to fight a Furman just to confirm that. But I definitely don't believe people are saying, he's not ready. Furman and Co are going to destroy him. No, they're all going to destroy him, etc., etc., etc. He's what he is. Yeah, he's a victim of his own hype, and he. So you go.
It's I was going to say, because remember we've seen Virgil Ortiz potentially getting dropped by what's his name, Kavialuskas. Yeah, and then he was like, "No, I didn't go down."
Mo Hooker gave him hell as well.
Mo Hooker gave him trouble. Like every time we've seen Virgil, we rate him highly.
Yeah,
but it's the same reaction for him after those fights, where it's like, he's not ready. Like he got pieced up and this and that. So there's a lot of jumping on the bandwagon and jumping off the bandwagon.
Yeah,
let these guys do their thing. When they really stink, then we could call it a stinker. But to me, it was just cobweb fight and him kind of rushing his work almost, being a bit too eager in there.
And my advice to Boots is, be patient. Just try and be as patient as you can. You will get guys like this that will be frustrating to fight. And you could see he was getting super frustrated. He was, gesticulating to his corner, I think to the crowd as well. The crowd was starting to boo a little bit because I think obviously they expected a knockout. Boots got all the hype, etc. So he was getting frustrated, which is why he started to throw those wild shots. Just be patient. Guys, you're coming up against guys like this. Stick to your boxing, work behind the jab. Don't try and load up with a big shot straight away to get the guy out of there, because that guy wasn't going nowhere. And he was too savvy and too slick to be caught by the big shots loads of times. Good chin, to be fair. So, that's that. And I could just tell that he was a bit worked up, wanted to put on the show for his Philly guys, etc., etc., etc. Just try and focus on you. Focus on you. Keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is right. And to be fair to him, Flowz, maybe Furman will fight him now. Maybe Furman and Lucas. Sometimes when they might see, oh, he didn't look too good. Maybe I can get him. Maybe these guys will start calling him out now, and they will look to fight him, Furman, Ugas, and Cole, because of his bad performance.
When he's interim champion now, so he's in a spot. If people want that spot,
he's mandatory. He's going to be made mandatory for Spence as well.
Yeah, so that interim title gives you the mandatory slot almost kind of thing. So yeah. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, but overall for you, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Nothing to shout. Nothing to say. Yeah, Boots ain't it. That type of performance happens. We've seen Shakur have that type of performance against Nakafila. Yeah, and people are saying he's not it, and then he went and smoked everyone. Cooked everyone after that. So off nights happen, but this weren't even an off night as such. It was just more cobwebs. Let's put it like that.
Okay. Yeah. I agree with that as well. Cool. All right. On to the main event, Flowz, and that is Gervonta Tank Davis up against Hector Garcia. Flowz. Am I right in saying, Flowz, it's another typical Gervonta Davis performance?
Yeah.
And I say that. I say that in the sense that this opponent was very competitive. Gervonta won rounds off Gervonta. You probably seen Gervonta wake up a little bit, a bit sleepy. You don't see him focused. And then in true Gervonta fashion, he hits a big bomb and closes the show. I feel like this is what's becoming commonplace with Gervonta now in terms of his performances. It just seems like he's unfocused, or he seems like he's taking it easy, or not boxing too well, or as well as we know he can box, before he finally just goes, okay, cool, let me get this guy out of here. That's it really on that one. Obviously, we'll dive into deeper, but you echo the sentiments that it was kind of typical Gervonta performance.
Yeah, maybe, but even before this podcast started, when we talked about Gervonta, I always criticized him because I said he doesn't give you the punch perfect fight.
Yeah,
which I kind of wanted to see from him. And now I've come to accept for a long time that you're not going to get that from Tank.
Bro, it's him.
You're not going to get it from Tank.
No, shall I tell you why I think we're going to get it? Because it's something I was going to ask you later on, actually.
Yeah.
With Tank, that does the way he approaches these fights and how he performs these fights against this kind of opponent, does it worry you? Because I feel like, if it was a Haney, a Ryan Garcia, a Shakur, we'll actually see Tank as sharp as he can be from the opening bell to the end. I feel like that. Because he himself knows that these guys aren't food, and he can. I feel like a lot of these other guys, he doesn't really respect them in that sense, where he feels like he has to be razor sharp from the start to the end. And he can just rely on the power that we know, the incredible power that he possesses. But I feel like if it was, I say you play to level your opponent, he fights to level his opponent. I feel like he would do that for Devin Haney. Because there's animosity there and he wants to wash him. But he will do that for Shakur. You know what I mean?
I hope so. But me, I've always said, show me it.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Especially early in your career. I need to see it.
Because Flowz, one of my favorite Tank performances, I'll probably say my favorite Tank performances.
Yeah.
Pedraza.
Yeah.
when he announced himself to the world. I think he took a title in that fight. Pedraza was a champion in the division and considered the class in the division. And to me, it was a punch-perfect performance from Tank from start to finish because it was his coming out party. You know what I mean? So I've seen it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. He was focused. He was razor sharp that entire fight. He knocked out Pedraza dirtily. So I feel like it is in there within him. But he plays too much, man. He plays too much, man. But I feel like against a top-tier opponent, he will actually be like good to go from the start to finish and be sharp.
Yeah. See, the Pedraza fight, after that is where I was, because I talked him up. I was
that was sensational. Let's not cap.
Tank's next up. I was screaming, Tank. I was like, Tank's it. And then he fought someone else after. Then he was on the Mayweather McGregor undercard.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yeah, because everyone was watching that card. I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Was it that one where he fought Francesca?
Francesca? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
was
so.
That card? Anyway, that fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember because I was watching with people. I was like, watch him, and he was moving like he won. He stopped him, but he was moving like a bozo.
Yeah, he was
moving how he fights.
Yeah,
he was like, fight is funny, and like the Gamboa fight is funny.
The Gamboa fight was peak.
like he's, I don't know. It's like he's not fully focused in there. Like he's kind of playing around. He too gets caught, and yeah, it's a strange one.
But he's so annoying for us because you'll see in portions in rounds where he will just turn it on.
Yeah.
And it's sensational. There was one round, I think it might be like the fifth or so, where he was locked in from the start of the round. I think he might have been caught, and then he just went crazy. And I said, this is what I need from you. Because the guy couldn't touch him, and Tank was just back. He was nuts. I said, this is why you're one of my favorite fighters to watch, because when you do this, so he's frustrated. He's very frustrated. I feel like Flowz is going to frustrate me for a long time, but he gets the wins.
It was to the point where I was like, Tank might not be like, I don't know what's wrong with Tank. He might be like it was fight after fight he was doing this.
Might be a hype job.
Not hype job, but it's like you're gonna come unstuck if you keep fighting like this.
Yeah. Thing is, a lot of people still think it's Flowz. A lot of people still think it's a hype job because of this, because of the unfocusedness and the fact that he gets caught easily for no reason. He doesn't have to. And like, especially his peers. His peers don't rate him. You know his peers don't rate him.
Yeah.
They don't rate him at all.
Because he was letting Rolly touch him. He's letting what's his name? Santa Cruz touch him.
Isaac Cruz caught him. Isaac Cruz.
But when you watch Tank in a fight, let's talk about the focus.
Yes.
You see him talking to what's his coach
all the time. He talks to the crowd, talks to the corner.
He was asking his coach where someone was in the crowd, and his coach was like looking at the screen. So I haven't seen them yet.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
His coach told him, "Oh yeah, it's the 7th round." He's asking someone outside the ring, "Is it the 7th round?" When the scrap started, this is what was killing me.
Yo, Flowz, you see his reaction? Man,
he stopped.
Hey, Flowz, he peered over.
He was
looking.
Mid-fight, and he was preying. You know, the ref wouldn't have stopped it if not for Gervonta's reaction.
Yes. Garcia wouldn't even have stopped if not for Gervonta. Because Garcia was ready to... Because my man fully stopped, Garcia then stopped and looked. That's when the ref... I've never seen that happen before, by the way, that a ref puts time out because of an altercation going on in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because we see scraps in boxing crowds all the time. It's common, actually. I won't say it's common, but it happens a lot, right? The referee is never inclined to stop the fight. Fighters might quickly look and then they'll carry on.
Yeah.
But because Tank fully stopped, and Tank is the star here, it's his pay-per-view, he's the star. And then Garcia went and stopped. The referee was like, all right, cool, time out. Really and truly, the referee just said, fighters, yo, carry on.
Yeah, get back.
But because Tank was looking, probably preying over. In fact, Flowz, I'm even surprised he didn't climb the turnbuckle. Man, surprised he didn't climb the rope just to prey even longer and start, shouting, yo, stop, blah, blah.
At first, I was thinking maybe it might be his family involved.
Boys, his peoples,
His family, because it was so close to the ring. But he stopped, he was looking, he backed away to the corner. The ref said timeout. Gervonta put his hands on the ring.
Yep.
I was just watching. Garcia in the other corner was fully focused, was looking at Tank, looked at his corner, his team, got a bit of advice. I was just focused on Tank. Tank was watching this like it was a show. I was like, this guy has no... he's more focused about what's happening outside the ring than inside the ring.
Crazy. It's so frustrating, but it's hard to talk. Obviously, it's hard to criticize when he's stopping these guys. He's stopping everyone. But yeah, he can't.
Let's get to the fight.
Let's get to the fight because, as I said, Tank. It was super competitive actually. Garcia, who obviously isn't food, good boxer, upset Stephen Colbert. Obviously, Tank's expected to win this and beat this guy and knock him out. But yeah, it's so funny because I know how you pointed out how PBC are really trying to hype up Garcia as a killer, as someone that's really. It was so apparent during the commentary as well and the build-up as well. You're listening to it. The way they were talking about Garcia was killing me, Flowz. I said, yeah, Flowz is right. They're really trying to build this guy up and really talk about him being a problem.
They were saying, "Oh, I'm surprised Tank would take this risk."
Yeah, fam, you heard it. He said, really shocked at this opponent. Blah 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 blah. Super risky opponent. I said, "Nah, you guys are doing too much. You're doing way too much right now."
Oh, man.
But cool. PBC, as we know. Tank, as you said, he's a slow starter. He tends to start his fights very, very slow. There was a battle over jabs at first, but you could see that this Garcia guy had some boxing ability. And whenever Tank was looking to catch him with the big shots or to load up with the big shots, he was countering really well and coming back with his own counter punches back. And he was gaining confidence, actually, as the rounds went on, to be honest, Flowz. He started a bit slow himself, Garcia, but as the rounds went on, he started to fire off combinations. And obviously, probably not too harmful to Tank. But one or two of them, Flowz, backed Tank up a little bit. One or two of them did back him up. And actually made him stumble a little bit. Not that it was hurt, but just more off balance kind of thing. So I do think that Tank definitely knew he was in the fight, and this guy is coming to lay down or whatever. This guy's looking to come and win. And as the fight progressed, yeah, we could see that this guy's confidence was building. He was throwing off more combinations. He was looking to press a little bit, etc. And Tank wasn't, like I said, he was frustrating because there'll be rounds where he's just being very sloppy and being caught, or there'll be rounds where he actually builds up credible offense and lands big shots and good combinations and stuff. And you're like, oh, that just missed, or if that just hit, could be lights up for this guy, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, that was the story of the fight for me overall. What about for you, Flowz? What were you seeing in there from Garcia and Tank?
First round, I wanted to have a real good look at Garcia. And for the first round, I could see, Tank's the better fighter.
Yeah. Like,
don't get me wrong, I think I gave the first round to Garcia, to be honest. It was another round, but I can see, Tank's going to get this guy eventually. Because Tank, not that he takes the first 3 rounds off, but he's a slow starter, like you say, slow starter. Garcia looks good, but his defense weren't there for me. And when he started opening up and getting in there, I was like, you're playing a risky game.
Yeah.
Even though he was landing.
I will say this, Flowz, there was always that, for me, that air of inevitability. I've said it before many times, that air of inevitability with a power puncher, because Garcia was willing to engage in the pocket with Tank.
Yeah.
And even though he was landing, it's like I said a bit earlier, there were times when Tank is just missing. I'm thinking, ooh, if he works on that, it's just timing a little bit, it could be long for you, Garcia. So I wouldn't advise this game plan, but credit to you. I rate the balls. But
yeah. When he was willing to exchange, and I was like, look, the hand speed you have versus Tank it's worlds apart.
Yeah.
Tank's got the explosiveness, he's got the shot selection.
Yeah.
He'll pick out an uppercut, he'll pick out a long reaching uppercut, which one was like a hook.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's almost like a long reaching hook.
Yeah.
And he pulls out shots from in range and outside of range, which he can land because he's so explosive. So it's like, you don't really want to do this, bro. And when it started opening up, I was like, let me stop scoring. I think maybe from the 5th round I was like, no point scoring, because if this is what this brother wants to do, really, like while he's landing and while it's making the fight exciting, fight lit up, but you're gonna get got really and truly. Hector Garcia is a good fighter. You can see the level he's at. But once again, he's a champion of 130. This is a 135. I think this is his first fight at 135.
Yeah.
It's a tough ask for him to come in there with a Tank Davis. But I think he done well in there. But once again, we've talked about what Tank makes people sometimes look better than they are.
Yeah.
by not being fully focused, talking to them,
Yeah.
letting them get off shots at times.
Tank was doing that. He was talking to Hector, and he loves to do it. He was talking to Hector. I don't know if he's goading him or whatever, but yeah, he was talking to Hector in there. Same. He usually does it anyways, but yeah.
But it was a good fight. But yeah, they were doing a lot of talking up with Hector Garcia, and like we said, we knew what would happen.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gotten to like I said, Tank in portions looking good, other portions looking a bit sloppy. Now the break in action happened. Do you know who that was between, by the way? The beef, whatever.
Yeah, it was the Russells and
the Russells and Meek and the chasers, the dream chasers. Yeah, but Meek and Gary Russell were going at it or something, and yeah, Meek actually tweeted. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got into it with a boxer because I was rooting for Tank. He didn't like it, etc." But it was their camps going at it, and you see sort of a whole bunch of Meek's guys just leaving, and yeah. It's interesting because Gary, I was saying to you earlier, Flowz, how Gary Russell's been going that Tank for a while. There's some bad blood between them. He's trying to go Tank into a fight. He's always criticizing Tank. Gary acting as if like he can handle Tank. You're getting knocked the spark out, bro. Mark Magsayo had you dancing. You're getting knocked the hell out. Getting destroyed. Not destroyed. Gary Russell's a sick fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he's not beating Tank in any capacity. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know if that's I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, as soon as action resumed, Flowz, there was a bit of urgency from Tank. Like he's like, all right, cool, let's get the show out, let's sort it out, let's
You know what it was?
What?
Remember going into the 8th round, his corner told him it's close.
Yes,
every time Tank hears it's close or that he's losing,
he goes because if it happened against not Rowley, but
Barrios, was it?
No, I think it was Barrios. The one where Floyd come and said, "Yo, you're down" or something.
I think it's Barrios.
Yeah, it was Barrios.
And he dropped Barrios twice. Yeah, Barrios. He said it's close, and there was another one maybe.
There might be another one.
Barrios,
was it Rowley?
Not Cruz.
I don't think it was Rowley.
He might have been told that he's losing against Rowley, but anytime he hears that,
basically, anytime Tank hears that it's close or he's losing, he turns up. And he gets sharp again, and he's like, okay, cool, I've played enough now. And he's done the exact same thing again with this guy, with Garcia. Because as soon as they resumed, and obviously he's heard what he said, heard from the corner, he's even gone to Garcia, he's like, all right, cool, it's time to go now.
Yeah. And
he started going crazy and throwing the big haymakers, the big shots, the big combinations. And Flowz, I think it was it the 9th where was it 8th or 9th where he actually got to him?
It was the 8th, yeah. It was 8th. Yeah, it was like 8th round, yeah.
So that resumption round.
Yeah. Once it resumed.
Tiger's hilarious. Bro, big combinations, couple shots to the body, big hooks to the face. One of the shots, I think it was a left hook, has caught him flush on the face around this cheek area kind of thing, this area here, Flowz. And you could tell that shot already did damage straight away. Garcia backed up straight away. Tank's gone in for the kill. Garcia's made it to the end of the bell, but he's caught some big shots. He's landed. He shipped some big shots before the end of the bell. But that particular hook to the face, that's the one that did a lot of damage. And
is that the one where he froze up and then he went down and it was like a pause?
Yeah.
And then he went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He shipped a lot.
No, that was shot. I think was before this big shot. I think.
Yeah.
Or it might have been after, but I don't think that was a shot.
There was a lot of big shots.
He caught a lot of big shots after the shot that did the damage. And you saw the bell's gone, and bro, the referee could have stopped it there and then, to be honest, because one, he doesn't even know his corner. The referees had to direct because he started walking towards Tank's corner, and the referee's gone, no, your corner's here. So he's gone towards that corner, his own corner. And he sat down, and I think he's already said, yo, what happened? Apparently he said to the trainer, what happened? Where am I? Kind of thing. And then, Flowz, we find out that he's not coming out for the 9th. It's over. He's stopped on his stool. And that's all she wrote. We then go on to find out that apparently he couldn't see. The moment Tank landed that big shot to the face, he said he said to his corner he couldn't see anything. Couldn't see out of that eye, blah, blah. I don't know if Tank broke his orbital. I don't know if he broke his socket or whatever. but he did damage to him from that one shot alone. Did dirty damage to him, and my man hasn't come out for the 9th belt. Just another testament again to just how scary Tank's power is, how explosive it is. It's nuts. It's really nuts, man.
I'll tell you my initial reaction there.
Yeah.
When it happened, I was like, man, this guy collected his paycheck and called it a day. Because he went back to his corner and he said, I think he said he couldn't see or something. Yeah. That's what he was saying. And he's called, at first, he looked like he's calling, didn't believe him. He was like, nah, you're fine. You're fine. And I go back out. And yeah, he just stayed on his stool. He said he couldn't see. And I think, to be fair, he did look dazed. He looked concussed when he was following Tank to his corner or something. And the ref had to redirect him. And then when he sat down, he looked a bit dazed. But I thought, come on, you're at your corner now. Shake it off. Get back out there. But yeah, so I was like, man, how you going to quit on your stool? Because I was like, yeah, his eye didn't swell up immediately. You couldn't see any visible damage other than him looking a bit dazed. But I was thinking, yeah, you can shake that off. And then after the fight, he comes out and says, "Now I can see now."
If he can see, yeah, he did say at the end, "Oh, my vision's back now." Yeah,
I was like, man, but honestly, we know what Tank's power does. This ain't the first time we've seen it. Like we've talked about it, one of the powerful pound hardest hitting.
Facts, big facts.
I think he shipped a lot of punches that round, and he was legit dazed. That's why he couldn't see. He was probably seeing his head was spinning. So yeah, I think that's why he couldn't see.
Tank hit him so hard. My man just rethought it and thought, you know what? I've gone 8 rounds. I've done my job. I've got my paycheck. Let's call it a day now.
Yeah.
He thought, you know what? It's not worth it.
Yeah, I think he was dazzled. Did he say his head's still hurting?
Yeah, he did. So his head's still pounded.
I was like, come on, your force is going to be pounding. You're in a boxing fight.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Tank's power in the end won it for him, as it always does. Even when he's not boxing particularly well, it's as I said, it's a typical Tank performance now. That's what you get.
Yeah, but I'll give Tank credit that it's not just he's relying on power, because he's an intelligent fighter, like legit intelligent, legit ring smart and ring IQ. Legit.
We keep saying he can box. Tank can box really well. He's a very good boxer when he wants to show it.
You look at him and you don't think he's the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but he's legit. Now, when you're watching him in boxing, you think this guy, like the traps he sets, the way he reads his opponents, the counter shots he picks. Like I'm thinking, to me anyway, counter punches are probably the smartest boxers.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's up there.
Tank's a natural counter puncher. He's so gifted at it if he wants to be. He's a brilliant counter puncher.
And then with the explosiveness he has and the actual legit skill, because he sometimes shoulder rolls.
Yep.
His jab can be good as well when he wants to use it. He's got a good jab, even though without the reach, because
it's fast. It's very quick.
He propels himself with it.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does. His shot selection, he has it all. That's why there is this. I've always had this high benchmark for him. Like, I need a punch perfect performance from you because you can do it. But he doesn't need to when he can talk to his mum outside the ring or. He's hilarious.
He is.
I'll tell you what as well. This guy's a legit star. Like deeply, he doesn't have a legit belt. He's got a regular belt.
Yep.
And he pulls the crowd. He does. He pulls the pay-per-view. He does. He shouldn't really be a pay-per-view star, but he is.
Yeah, he is. Facts.
He's a legit star.
Big facts. People come out to support. Like people, he sells out all the arenas he fights in, etc., etc. He definitely is a legit star. Vegas is calling his name. It's only a matter of time. I think he's only fought there, obviously, for maybe like Floyd on the cards, etc. But he's a future Vegas headliner for sure, Tank. And his shows always tend to be something's always going on at Tank shows. I swear, there's always some sort of altercation or whatever. I swear. You know how the PBC lot get down. Let's talk future, because obviously we said last week how they seem to have this Ryan Garcia fight penciled in for the April the 15th. We're still saying, not bullshit, but we're still skeptical about it. But obviously, naturally, that's what Jim Gray asked him about straight away. And Tank was like, yeah, I'm good to go. I'm locked in. I'm ready. Like, I want that next. Ryan Garcia is obviously, he's been tweeting throughout the entire fight saying, yeah, RIP Tank, I'm going to destroy you, blah, blah. So they're hinting at it. It's what 136-pound catch weight is what's we've heard. It's been proposed. Again, doesn't make sense, but yeah, cool. That seems to be the fight next. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep you guys updated in terms of if that's next. If it is, Flowz, I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. I've wanted to get all these guys in the mix. So if it is Ryan Garcia next, I'll take it. Those are two contenders. So
it's a huge fight. That's a huge
massive fight. We'll talk about stardom. Ryan Garcia in his own right is a star. You call him out in his bozo antics, etc. But in terms of the social media pool that he has, it's insane.
Yeah.
He's got more than long-time champion. Last time he's got ridiculous amount of support. Like yeah. So
he's a legit name. That fight there is arguably the biggest fight in boxing in terms of audience and draw.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like
crazy is right.
In America,
they're mad as well because they're both not legit champions. Both of them.
Yeah. Like other than AJ Fury, in my eyes, I don't think Spence Crawford pulls the same as them.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't, and that's
it doesn't.
Because, it doesn't. And it's because Crawford, to be honest, he lets it down. No offense to Crawford, but because Spence is a pay-per-view star, I think. But Crawford, unfortunately, flags a little bit in that regard. But in this type, both Tank and Ryan Garcia almost, they're both like up there in terms of their pool.
Yeah, I think that might be unless AJ Canelo is the biggest, but
AJ Fury will do numbers off the back of AJ. Really, Fury commands something. So that's it really in terms of the real draws. I think, or fights that are just like high draws for sure. Yeah. I'll take it. Like
we want to see it. So if they make it happen, but I'll tell you what I was thinking about. There's Tank fought a legit defensive fighter.
Has Tank fought a defensive guy? No.
Yeah.
I mean, we were robbed of it. Tevin Farmer, we're robbed of it.
Oh yeah.
That's the way we said, okay, we'll now see if you can hang with the boxers, Tank, because Tevin Farmer is a serious boxer. Floyd made sure that never happened. So he hasn't fought like a defensive specialist. Let's put it that way. And again, Ryan Garcia is a super offensive fighter.
Yeah, he's not defensive whatsoever.
Offensively, he's superb. Ryan Garcia is offensively, he's a problem. And Flowz, obviously, he hasn't been made yet. We're speculating here. This is a bloody tough fight for Tank. This is a real tough fight. Ryan Garcia's dimensions can give Tank a lot of problems.
Fast hands as well to Ryan.
Huh?
Ryan's got fast hands too.
I was literally about to say he's as fast as Tank. Probably. Super fast. So, it makes an intriguing fight. I hope it gets made. I'm not getting my hopes up, but I hope it gets made.
Yeah. We'll talk about when and if it gets made, because I know who I've got winning.
Save it. I know very well who I've got winning. Well, anyways, we'll talk. We ain't going to talk too much. But is it a well done Tank? I guess it is because he stops another opponent. He's
business as usual.
Yeah, it's business as usual for Tank. Yeah. We hope that the Ryan Garcia fight gets made. But Tank, just please, when it does come to these big fights, the Ryan Garcias, I mean the Devin Haney's, etc., just be focused. Because if not, you don't want to put yourself in a hole against these guys that are good boxers and they can also bang out as well. We've never really seen Tank he hasn't been rocked like that, to be fair. His chin seems good. Because Rolly was supposed to hit very hard and he didn't really, and he fought Tank, but he never wobbled him or anything. Yeah. Tank's got, I think it's fair to say that he's got a good chin, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, no more to say on that. Classic Gervonta Davis performance. I don't know if you want to talk about your boy Richard Schaefer and his comments.
What did you say?
Just his tweet and just he was talking.
Oh, you mean what's his name? Not Schaefer.
No, sorry, not Schaefer. Espinosa.
Steven Espinosa.
Yeah, Espinosa. Yeah.
What was his tweet?
Steady calling it a mismatch.
He's like, yo, madman. I was like, no way, Steven Espinosa written this. And he's like, y'all steady calling it a mismatch.
Steady.
I was like, you've been hanging around the PBC fights too much.
Way too much. Next time we see you, you're going to have a big bust down on.
He was right there next to Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah. Hey, man, I don't know if it's going to be changed colors for PBC because a lot of people are saying how inactive their fighters are. It's not just us, Flowz. But yeah, hopefully we do see the PBC a lot more active this year. Tank himself has said that he would love to fight 3 times this year. He would love to. That's what he hopes to do. Hey, man, show us. That's what I'm going to say on that one. Show us.
Yeah.
Because Tank, yeah, you should be fighting 3 times this year. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, let's call it a day there. Episode 124 of Strategies and Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
Please head over to stream platforms and keep liking, supporting us, and write up them views. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.